What is up, budgeting family and friends? My name is Sharia. This is the Sharia Mac channel where I am documenting my debt-free journey as an entrepreneurial licensed clinical social worker with a virtual private practice, also working part-time along with my husband who is a welder. Together we have a combined income of about $130K, and I know the numbers continue to fluctuate, but we just did our taxes and the combination of the income is about $130K. So we are a family of 7, 3 adult children, 1 senior in high school and 1 5th grader, and we have 6 figures of debt, and we have a goal to be out of this debt in 3 to 5 years. And we are doing so by documenting our journey with monthly and weekly budgets, also debt updates at the end of every month. And because I am an entrepreneurial licensed clinical social worker or a therapist with my own virtual private practice, I do also share the income that I was able to make in my practice at the end of every month as well. So if that is something that you are interested or could be informed or inspired by, be sure to click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video, which is at this moment every Sunday and Wednesday and an occasional Friday to make sure the content is caught up. Today's video is February week 2's budgets, and we will get right into it. This budget starts on February the 8th and it goes to February the 14th. We budget from Thursday to Wednesday. My husband is paid on Thursdays. I am paid on Fridays, and then I get a part-time paycheck every other Thursday. The income for this pay period is expected or planned to be $2,700. The planned income for Will's paycheck number 2 is $800. He actually earned $1,002.12. My paycheck number 2 is planned at $900 and I earned $936.67. And then part-time paycheck number 1 is planned at $1,000 and I earned $1,148.20. That gives us an actual income for the second week of February to be $3,086.99. We transition over to savings. The planned savings for this week was $275. $50 was put into my high yield savings account. And the actual is $50. The Will savings was planned at $50, but I allowed him to transfer $75 to take advantage of some of the overtime work that he had done. Christmas 2024 was planned at $25 and it got $25. Princeton's planned at $10, and this is his education account, and he received $10. My daughter, we had planned on putting $50 into her college account, and we did put $50 into her college account, and then we put aside $80 for Valentine's Day. That brought our planned income to $265, and we actually saved $290 for the second week of February. Bills for this week were planned at $443.11. with $275.12 going to our mortgage. We do pay that weekly now, and $275 did go to the mortgage. $9.99 was supposed to go towards Apple storage, but for some reason they charged the $9.99 to my Apple card. I have since changed that, but I'm actually thinking about leaving that and just adding the $9.99 to the automatic payment every month, because it does come up as a charge, and I earn 3% on every charge. So I don't remember how much that ended up being. It was just a couple of cents. But just making sure I pay that right back off, or increase the automatic payment to include the $9.99. Cricket Wireless is my husband's cell phone, and that was planned at $58, and $58 did come out. And then child support the last child support payment was planned at $100 and $100 did come out. So we had planned expenses of $443.11 and our actual expenses were $433.12. We move over to expenses. Groceries was planned at $150 and we actually spent $166. Gas was planned at $120 and we actually spent $148.07. Beauty maintenance was planned at $25 and we did spend $25, or I spent $25 getting my eyebrows and my face waxed. Toiletries was planned at $50 and we spent $53.52. Household was planned at $50 and we spent $28.22. Fast food was planned at $50 and we spent $54.96. Miscellaneous was planned at $80 and we spent $60. And tithe should have been $100 and I ended up tithing $122.32. So that brought our planned expenses to $625 with our actual expenses at $658.09. We move over to debt. So the planned debt was $40 on my Amazon American Express, $40 on Wheels Platinum American Express, $40 on my Platinum American Express, $25 on Capital One, $30 on Ulta. That totaled $175, and that $175 was paid directly to the Barclay Carnival's card because none of those cards have a balance. PayPal, I had to pay $200 to avoid interest accruing on special purchases. Honda Financial got $250.20, and that is because 15% of my part-time income is going towards the principal of my Honda Financial, my truck, because once we get out of credit card debt, we will be transitioning over to the Avalanche method, and the Honda Pilot has the highest interest rate. So that bought our debt payment was planned at $425.20 and we actually paid $1,512.22, which probably included a payment. We'll go down here and see exactly what that payment looked like. So we go over to the budget versus the actual, and as you can see, the planned income was $2,700, where the actual income was $3,086.99. Income saved was planned at $265, and the actual was $290. Income spent, which is the combination between bills and expenses, was planned at $1,068.11, and we actually spent $1,091.21. Debt paid was planned at $425.20, and we actually paid $1,512.22. I don't know what this is up here, the rollover, because that is not correct. But we have a planned leftover balance of $941.69 with an actual leftover balance of $193.56. And I think that is about accurate. I don't know actually what ended up being in the account before the paychecks hit on Thursday. Usually I do try to be intentional on checking what it is on Wednesday and going ahead and scheduling a payment on the credit cards, but I just don't remember what that was. So we go up to the breakdown, and on the breakdown you can see 10% of our income went to savings, which I like to see. 15% of our income went towards bills, 22.7% went towards expenses, and still debt taking the majority of our income at 52.3%. We go down to the expenses for the week of February the 8th through February the 14th. I don't go over each individual expense. I typically address expenses that are outside of a category. So you'll see on February the 8th, I made a $183.48 principal payment on my Honda Financial car or loan. $200 went towards debt, and $703.54 went towards an additional payment to the Barclays Carnival card. And then regular expenses here. I did have Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. I do treat myself typically every Wednesday or Friday, sometimes both, to Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And I did so on this day. You'll see here where the $175 was a debt payment to Barclay Carnival card, and that is the minimum payments snowballed. The minimum payments on zero balance cards snowballed into our target debt. Then miscellaneous charges included $20 to a fundraiser. My nephew he's actually my aunt's son, but me and her were raised more like siblings than aunt and niece, and so I call her kids my niece and nephews. So he was doing a fundraiser. They were selling hot dogs, and I bought $20 worth. We put $10 in the Honda that my husband has for sale. $59 to fill up my truck. We also put $41 in the big truck. And then additional miscellaneous expenses. We went out for my bonus son's 18th birthday, and we bowled, but we charged $30 for the younger kids, my youngest son and his younger cousin, to play in the arcade. Some more fast food at $11.63. And then fast food again. Chinese food I purchased for my husband for Valentine's Day for lunch. I included a small little handwritten note and some chocolates. And then I bought my kids, I have always bought them the Bojangles breakfast because they have the heart-shaped biscuits. So I did that for my two kids that were in the house. My oldest son, that's still in the home, he wanted Chick-fil-A breakfast, and so I did purchase him Chick-fil-A. And then we sent $10 to my oldest daughter for Valentine's Day, for her to get a Valentine's Day breakfast. So those were my expenses for the week of February the 8th through February the 14th. And that was our budget. I am happy to see $1,000, $1,500 actually, towards debt. And the majority of that balance being on additional payments, additional principal payments. So I love to see that. I'm excited about that. It looks like we will meet our financial goal for February to have the Carnival Barclays card paid off. So I'm excited about that. But that is it for February week 2's budget. If you have watched thus far, I really appreciate it. Again, doing the reflections. I think what has been very helpful is tracking my expenses from day to day and doing the weekly budgeting, although sometimes it can be very fatigued or tiring, but it has been effective thus far, so I'm going to keep it up. If you have watched this far and you are inspired and informed by my content, make sure that you click the subscribe button. If you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to follow my six-figure journey out of debt into wealth. If you would like to donate or contribute to my debt-free journey, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link. I would really appreciate it, and I will shout you out on the next video. And that is it. If you have any questions or comments about how I'm budgeting, what I'm budgeting, or why I'm budgeting something in particular, please make sure to list that down in the comment section. How is budgeting working out for you? Do you do bi-weekly? Do you do weekly? Do you just do monthly? Do you do it on the computer? Do you write it out? I used to be a paper and pen type of person, but I spend so much time in my office. Like this has become part of my start my workday routine, is to review my bank accounts, review my transactions, log my transactions, and then review the budget on a day-to-day basis. So I love to see that. And so share how you budget down in the comment sections. I would love to read that. And if there's anything that I feel like I could apply to my budgeting system, I definitely will, and will shout you out on the changes I made and where they came from. So I really appreciate you for watching to the end. If you have watched this far, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.